How are you feeling, Dad? Are you...
Much better.
Master said he needed to take a quick rest and asked me to bring you out of the treatment room. He hasn't emerged yet, so he must still be resting.
Oh, really? Well, he must be tired from I don't know.
No, the Adventurers Guild hasn't gotten back to me yet. I'll go check with them again in a bit.
I'll come with...
Don't forget what Master said. You're still not out of the woods yet.
Though, on the bright side, this means
Traveler, Baiju hasn't shown his face ever since he went in to treat Jialiang again. Do you think he... Huh? Hey, wait up!
Huh?
You're finally awake?
There was no time. I had no other choice. Jiangli's design is quite brilliant.
So, how much longer They've been outside waiting for you the whole time while you were asleep. Shall we... Surely he hasn't. Who's talking behind our backs again? Ah! Baiju! Changsheng!
Of course. There's no need to be
Jialiang seemed fine yesterday. Why did he need more life-saving treatment again so soon?
I made and as a result, his life force depleted at a greater rate than I had anticipated.
What? You mean, even if you got all the poison out of him, he'd still be...
Yes. But more... Jialiang has a rare congenital... Though it was created...
Had he not taken it all these years, he likely would have died a long time ago.
Still, using poison to treat a disease is hardly a viable long-term solution. As time passed, moreover, the longer he relied upon this medicine, the more resistant his body became.
That explains why
God remains are extremely dangerous to be around, because humans have no natural defense against them. I shudder to think how I fear that the situation is just as that Adeptus described. In an effort to save Jialiang...
I never suspect to sacrifice one's own life to save others. To go beyond human means in order...
Well, I think that in any case, I have stabilized Jialiang's condition. Her regular exposure to God remains over such a long period will have been catastrophic for her health. And given that she's already been missing for several days, I am fearing the worst.
It's me, Traveler, Dr. Baiju.
Ah! It's Jialiang!
Dr. Baiju, you've already done so much. After all, if it wasn't for me, she wouldn't have... I'm sure I'll be able to...
Be careful.
No! Before I forget everything again.
This trip will be extremely dangerous.
I never expected to live... There's only one thing I fear now, and that...
Very well. Then follow...
Dr. Baiju, are you heading out again?
Yes. Please add an extra measure of mistgrass pollen, and 1 dose...
Doctor...
Hop to it now. And remember to be careful.
Okay.
It's just like the day I went missing. It's as if something inside.
The Motherlode's influence is growing stronger. But is it because we're Jialiang? Can you sense which direction?
I think it's this way. Yes, I'm sure of it. I feel a dull ache in my heart. This must be the way. This place feels familiar. I think I've been here before.
There is an inauspicious presence here.
I think I remember this place.
Jialiang, are you okay? Maybe you should.
No, I have to keep going. Jiangli is still waiting for me. Then let's hurry.
This place gives fine. The digging marks here appear in a thieves' tunnel? Paimon had.
Judging by the tools they left behind, it's certainly a possibility. But why did they abandon this place without even stopping to pack up their tools?
I remember now. She took me here once and told me that she'd found a way to save me in this cave. But she said that the method would cause me to, curses. Why can't I remember what she said?
Easy, Jialiang. Come on, let's keep going. Yeah! A bitter pill to swallow. Mind the side effects.
Illusion shattered! Now you shall perish!
Whoa, there's a sensor here. Those treasure hoarders sure made themselves
I believe this sensor was used to burn a monster-repelling incense.
a monster repelling incense.
The incense was burned several days ago. No doubt an encounter with the very same entity was after them. Jiangli was the next person to discover this place and what lies inside. But
That's right. This sensor, it belongs to Jiangli. This is where...
Jialiang!
I'm fine. Let's keep going. I can feel it. She is right below us. I can feel it. We're getting close. We're almost there. It's right up ahead. The place where we made a pact together to...
Aha! We can keep going now!
from the looks of it, the energy released by this mechanism can not only clear barriers, but also be conducted by corresponding mechanisms. Perhaps it's something we can make use of. A bitter pill to swallow. Mind the side effects. Yeah. Ta.
Strike a pose! Yeah, I'm down!
Reconstitute! Yeah, this'll brighten up the place.
Ka. Ta. Bah. Yeah. Fa. Fa.
Shower me with praise!
Zhongli!
Look out! There's a monster next to her!
The god remains must have lured them here. Watch my back. Seems like an emergency.
There is no escape! Torn to oblivion!
Dr. Baiju, how serious is it?
I can still feel a pulse, but her condition is quite... The god remains here are encroaching on her cognition, much as the poison in your system did to you. If we don't eliminate it soon, then even if we save her...
Then what are we waiting for? Let's destroy the remains right away! It's not as simple as that. Don't you remember what Baiju said? The poison within Jialiang's body is inextricably linked to the god remains here. If the source is purged, the poison in his system will stop having any effect. And the poison within Jialiang's body is keeping his heart condition under control. So, if it stops working... Oh no. Are you saying...
Indeed. If the god remains...
I wondered when this day might come.
Wait! But we've all been working our butts off to Baiju. You're a great doctor. Surely you gotta know if...
You could continue to take the poison, which would buy you some time. As for Jiangli, maybe if we put our heads together, we can think of something.
It appears to me that she was striving to concoct your medicine for you.
Dr. Baiju, give it to me straight. How long does Jiangli have?
The god remains have reached her internal organs. Under ordinary circumstances, I would give her less than 3 days. But if I were to treat her using a secret art...
But Dr. Baiju, I'm all too aware that if I continue to sustain my own life using this wretched substance, not only would I know for a fact that I should have died over a decade ago, the fact that I've been around to see IU grow up is already a great... If my choice can bring Jiangli back, then even if I...
Jialiang.
After cheating death for so long, it's...
Of course.
Thank you, everyone. And I'm sorry.
Jialiang.
I am sure that over the years, Jiangli will have tried all the conventional
Mortals are fated to grow up. What a crazy situation. Jiangli risked it all to save Jialiang's life. And now...
I've seen many final farewells.
In the human realm, all things must come at least.
The path they chose was indeed a heroic one. But when I think of those who would willingly, I cannot help but think that theirs are the lives...
When all this began, we agreed that once IU was old enough to help you gather herbs, it would be time for me to go. If you could only see him now. He took me all the way to Liyue Harbor to see the doctor. So I know that you'll both be okay without me. I've said my goodbyes. My time has come. Do what you must.
As you wish.
It will eat away at both your cognition and your memories. In the end, you'll become little more than a shadow of your true self.
I'll take...
Mom, something's really wrong with... Don't...
Why would these memories come to mind now? The longer we live, the tighter... Oh, how I would love to hear...
Jialiang! Jialiang! Jialiang!
Dad, are you awake?
Jiangli, are you? Didn't I... Huh?
How does it feel to come back to life?
Do you feel strange or different in any way? If
Dr. Baiju, I...
Die? You did indeed. As things stand now, you're more akin to as...
I'm a zombie?
That's right. Before we set off, I asked Chi-Chi to prepare an elixir of immortality. With its help, you have been suspended. Of course, this is but a crude imitation of an Adeptus art. I don't expect it to extend your life. Whether it will keep you alive for a few days, a few months, or a few years, but However long you have left, I believe it should be more than sufficient time for you to say your final goodbyes before departing the world in peace.
An elixir of immortality? How'd you cook that up? Ugh. Leave it to you.
It's a work in progress that hardly lives up to its name, and it would have had no effect were it not for In the end, I am merely a doctor. I understand very little of the great principles governing life and death, and the perpetual cycle of All I know is that if I'm presented with a life that deserves to be saved, I will do everything, and even this would have counted for nothing.
Oops. And
Without Director Hu nudging things in the right direction, we may not have found Jiangli in time.
no wonder he didn't mention the elixir back then.
Director Hu told me to keep her suggestion.
Never under...
All I wanted was to help Jialiang find his missing wife as soon as possible, so that he could leave it to Boo Boo Pharmacy to snatch the perfect opportunity right out of my hands at the last hurdle. Never mind. One Chi-Chi was enough of a conundrum. The last thing I need's another one. If I'd known this was coming, I'd have whisked up.
You stay away from my dad! When I grow up, I'm gonna become an even better doctor than Mom and Baiju, and cure Dad for good!
Oh, is that right? Well, you wouldn't be the first person who's tried. Traveler, Paimon, I'll catch you all another time.
All's well that ends well. If you ask Paimon, we should probably do something at times like this.
It feels like it was a whole lifetime ago when I last talked.
Yay! Paimon can't wait! Alright, first things first, off to the market for some fresh ingredients. Let's go!
Wait up! I'll come to-
Baiju, thank you so.
Don't mention it, Jiangli.
Just your duty, huh? Time flies. It's been so long since we bade each other farewell in Shenyu Vale. Changshang, you're the same as ever. You haven't changed one bit.
You, on the other hand, have changed a lot.
You're right. My younger self would have never imagined that things would one day turn out this way. Or that you'd turn out this way, Baiju. I've taken a look at your elixir of immortality. It's not altogether dissimilar from the poison I concocted in terms of the way it functions.
I have to say, Jiangli, it was a stroke of genius to use poison to maintain life. I hope you're not too upset at me for copying your methods.
No, not at all. But I'm still impressed by how quickly you managed to gain such a thorough understanding of it. Jialiang's still only been... Not just that. You even managed to improve upon the original formula. That cannot be explained. Baiju, be honest with me.
Huh. Told you that...
Life force isn't the only thing that Changshang's contract lets you transfer.
Nothing gets past you, Jiangli. You are correct. Besides, when I treated Jialiang for the second time, there is no need to worry about any long-term consequences to my...
But you took such a... What am I... The reason I left our master and went into hide... But in the end... How are my Are all disciples of Shenyu Vale destined to...
We are doctors, Jiangli.
Baiju, I can tell that over the year... Can you still stop before it...
I think you know the answer, Jiangli. Everyone...
Hey, food's ready!
Mom, come and join us! The Traveler taught me a load of new recipes, and said even...
Yes, darling. Mom will be there in just a second. Hey, slow down. Baiju, I know I won't be able to convince you, but Chi-Chi, Gui, and all the friends who have grown fond of you, they will all miss you dearly.
There's no need to worry, Jiangli. I know what I'm doing.
I can only...
Baiju, what did Jiang Li mean by not around anymore? Are you Every single mortal I've ever contracted with, including Baiju and Jiang Li's master. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. You said that the...
It is a...
Long ago, when plagues ravaged the land, one doctor made a pledge to rid the world of pain and suffering. But even the most ingenious mortal medicine could not stay the tide of disease. And after working tirelessly for many years, even his dearest loved ones fell sick and bade their final farewell. Legends told of an herb lord in Chenyu Vale who could cure any illness known to mankind. The doctor sought the herb lord, but found only a white snake, its breathing weak and its power all but spent.
Sign this contract and let our lives be joined. Then I will impart to you the secret art of healing. But be warned, this art will harm your own health.
With means beyond human ken, the doctor could now reverse the process of death. And yet, the time still came to say goodbye. Only now, the one departing was the doctor, his life force spent. His final act in life was to pass on the contract to his final patient, his favorite disciple. The disciple chose to dedicate their life to saving the lives of others. And generation upon generation followed in these footsteps. Since I inherited this contract, I've always respected the path taken by my predecessors and followed it myself unquestioningly. That is, until I tried to use the art to save my own disciple's beloved. She begged me not to use up my own life force. She said that this art is a poison chalice, an evil and unnatural practice. She did not wish to sacrifice one life for the sake of another, when both were lives she treasured. Only then did it occur to me. Did I not suffer when my master passed away, just as patients' families do at their loved one's deathbed? Are not the lives cut short by this contract just as worthy of saving as any patients? What is this contract to us? Medicine or poison? Alas, I no longer have enough time left to find the answer. I entrust to your care both Changsheng and this final question. May you find a remedy for this conundrum, which has ailed us so.
Time and again, no matter how much I try to warn them or balance their chi, I can never save them. And you? What's your answer?
If I abandoned the contract and left you without a host, what would happen?
I suppose I'd spend my final moments taking a nice nap on Mount Yaojin. Then I'd be reunited with my old friends and your predecessors.
Then it's decided. If there's a life in front of me that deserves to be saved, why shouldn't I do everything within my power to save it?
Once again, it's the same answer. So be it. Close your eyes. Who knows how many more people will take on this contract?
None. This contract will end with me.
My contract has strict requirements on the host's natural temperament. All my hosts have been most pure.
But when one with an altruistic nature gains access to this art, though they know better than anyone else the fate that awaits them, when faced with the sorrows of humanity, they are like moths that throw themselves into the flame, seeking a glimmer of hope in a dark world.
So, Baiyu,
I suppose that would make me a moth that yearns for the light, but doesn't want to be burned to a crisp. Changsheng's art can transfer pain and suffering between people, but it cannot reduce the total amount of pain in the world. It's just like we witnessed. Either Jia Liang feared for Jiang Li's life, or Jiang Li grieved over Jia Liang's sacrifice. I have nothing but the utmost respect for my predecessors, who sacrificed their lives for their principles. But I do not wish to join their ranks, nor—
Huh? But didn't you already transfer a ton of diseases onto yourself?
What makes a poison, poison? And what makes a disease, a disease? When it comes down to it, are not both mechanisms that affect the operations of the human body? If disease is defined as deviation from normal functioning, then who knows? Perhaps the true elixir of immortality could in fact be a kind of poison. Many may view the notion of searching for immortality in poisons and illnesses as a flagrant violation of the natural order. But to me, it is no different from the way our ancestors tested the medicinal qualities of herbs by sampling each and every one. I don't want those who come after me to lose their lives to this contract. Nor do I wish for Chengsheng to perish from losing her host. This leaves only one solution, doesn't it? Precisely. I will be Chengsheng's final host, and the tradition of passing down the contract will end with me.
Even the gods of old struggled to achieve true immortality. First you want to save others, then you want to save yourself. Now you even want to save me. You're getting greedy, Baiju.
But isn't wanting to have it all what makes us human? For a selfish moth like me, who's afraid of the flame yet yearns for the light, the only path forward is up towards the...
For once, Paimon just does not know what to say.
Dr. Baiju, Traveler, what are you still chatting about? The food's about to get cold.
We also have coconut milk for Changsheng and Paimon.
Okay, fine. Let's go grab some food. Paimon has a bunch of burning questions, but they can wait till after we've eaten. I do envy Paimon sometimes.
True. And yet, although we are such things as these not precisely why we more...